Fusion Light Energy Gain technology screens. Today, we may ruffle some feathers today. I guarantee 100% feathers are going to get ruffled. Why would these feathers get ruffled? Because the topic we're talking about, the gray screen, the great denial of the gray screen. Yes, they are in denial. Not saying all of them, because I don't know the point of view on all of them. I can't say that. But from what I've seen from other people who basically have these gray screens, the denial is great in this one. So anyway, as I said before, gray screens are not top-end screens. I've seen these with screen paints. I've seen these with physical screens. And for some reason, they just, I don't know where they get it from, but they think for some reason that a gray screen can read a 100% black level. I don't even know how that's even possible. Now, of course, you know, you can't do it with the everyday projector like we have over here. This is our Chrissy LW400. This projector has a 1000-to-1 contrast. That wouldn't be enough to do it. They would have to have, or wouldn't do it, period. They would have to have, they would have to have a projector of an insane amount of contrast, which again, it's going to cost the consumer more money. Definitely more money. It's going to cost you more money. Because they're not going to give you 2,000,000-to-1 contrast for that cheap. You're going to pay for that. It's going to definitely pay you for that. All right, so with that being said, knowing that this is going to cost you more money, let's see what AI says, overview, about the gray screen. Is it possible that a gray screen can give you a 100% contrast level? The fact that we have to go in here and look at this is pretty sad, because I would think somebody would know this already. I mean, as we go to school, we learn things like different colors, you know, the difference between blue and red and orange and green and purple and pink and so forth. And yet there are some people who make these products do not know the difference between actual gray and black. All right, so as you can see here, what Google is saying, I asked them a simple question, and the question was, can a 100% black projection screen, oh wait, that's the wrong one, wrong topic, here we are, right topic, there we go. Can a gray screen read 100% contrast? Now, no, gray screens cannot achieve 100% contrast, as it is impossible to achieve a truly infinity contrast ratio in any world display. You can't see it at all. You don't pick it up. It doesn't make a difference. And guess whose videos pop up explaining that? Ours do, because we did those tests on Jamie's paint. That's literally his paint in the video demonstration, showing us through a splatter screen display, showing that the gray screen didn't read on anything. It didn't pick up anything at all. We did multiple demonstrations on this, including the video I'm doing right now is going to pop up over there too now. So no, they can't read. It's right there. There's my video showing you the difference between a gray screen and our black technology. Gray screens don't read color. They don't read contrast. They're not ambient light rejection technology. They don't function on all different sorts of projectors. As a matter of fact, I would say all of them. They don't pick up. They cannot read at all. Now, again, they serve the purpose when the white screens. Is the gray screen better than the white screen? Heck yes, better than the white screen. But that's as far as it goes. That's as far as it goes. And since now they make other screens besides gray screens, this is where this gray screen started to drop off. It's not considered to be the high-end screen anymore, because now you got gunmetal and black screens. There you go. So that is what Jamie's paint looks like next to a Phantom. It didn't even pop up at all. Yeah, it washed out. So keep in mind, when you look that up, we have done so much research on gray screens versus our products that we literally show up on Google AI overview. It would cost you more money to have a gray screen than a black screen. Now, depending on the company you're dealing with, we got a company that has a black technology, you're definitely going to pay a whole lot more money. Because again, if I have a gunmetal technology and I'm charging you $5,000, what do you think I'm going to charge you for a black screen version of it? There you go, a lot more money. We don't do that. Now, with his product, at the end of the day, it's going to cost you more money because you're going to pay a ton of money to try to come close to this, which you won't even do that. That's why they try to use ultra short throws, to try to shorten that distance throw, to keep the screen from deteriorating, to keep from losing a high lumen count. All that heavy contrast levels to try to make up for the screen failing. As we saw in demonstrations, it doesn't work. So, imagine what it says right here. It doesn't have the ability. You can't read it. Can't read it. This is the reason why next to that quantum technology, I can wash the color out of your screen with a cell phone flashlight. Because you're not ambient light projection. Can't absorb. Can't reflect light. You can't pick up anything at all, period. And people that are sitting in the dark with gray screens thinking you're seeing a color, you're not seeing anything. It's kind of like the Matrix effect, you know. You wake up in the morning, you got this fancy car outside, nice big home, you know, you drive to work, got a bunch of people, you know, blah, 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 blah. But in reality, you're sitting in an incubator somewhere eating baby food. There you go. You live in the Matrix effect every time you look at a gray screen. You're not reading any of that at all, period. If that projector can talk with it, curse you out like, what are you doing? You do know you're not seeing this, right? I'm projecting this, but you're actually not seeing this at all, period. You're not picking it up. That's actually what you pick up next to our technology. You don't read your contrast at all. You can't pick it up. Now, the part that I don't understand, that I can't get at the end of the day, that how in the world is somebody mistaking this? You got black on this. This is already black paint. And this is gray. How do you say these are the same? Do they look the same to you? They look the same to me. One's black and one's gray. Even this can put, this is everyday black paint. In our technology, it doesn't read a white level correctly next to our paint. But this thing can pick up a star field better than this. Because this can read the Infinity 1 level because it's black. Any surface can read the Infinity 1 level. The problem is it can't generate a high enough white level because it comes up dirty and dark. Where basically it would pick up a much better contrast level than a gray screen because it's actually black and not faking the black levels. As I'm trying to get you to buy a more expensive projector to fix your problem. So this would cost you more money. So let's say, hypothetically, my customer pays $500 for a gallon for our product. And he has to pay $50 for his projector. His whole setup costs him $550. Where customer buys this gray paint at the end of the day, costs him $60, and he'll spend $3,000 for a projector. He'll spend $1,000 for a projector. He'll be way over the price of what my customers paid for. And keep in mind, the more money he spends for his projector, the better chance he has of those inky levels popping up. But still, he's going to be in the dark regardless. It's going to look better in the dark, but it's still going to have to pay a little more money. So that means you can't have your lights on. My customers can, because our stuff is ambient light rejection technology. As you can see, it's in a fully lit environment. We don't have to calibrate. You will be calibrating on that projector at something with 1.7 billion colors or so forth. You'll be paying for that. You'll be in the dark trying to pick up a contrast level which you can't even read to begin with. Even though your projector produces contrast, it can't see contrast, so your screen won't allow it. And you're not taking it outside, because definitely if you can't fire up inside the house, you are definitely not going outside, because there's a lot more light out there waiting for you. A lot of problems there. A lot of headache. So, I told you it's going to ruffle some feathers. You're going to get some people crying and screaming into their pillows. And, you know, getting upset and mad and, you know, yelling out my name like, "Don't, you cannot, don't." It's the truth. You want to go to court? We can go to court. How about you drop some paperwork? I'll meet you there. We'll go to court. And we'll let a judge decide. And if you can read that. Heck, I'll paint that screen all black, pull an image off of it, and you can paint into it with your own paint and see if you show up. Matching my screen. You do not see contrast. And when you go on YouTube or when you go on your eBay listing or wherever you may be at the end of the day, whether you're a certified gray screen or wherever you may be, and you make that claim, you're liable for a lawsuit. Because you just told somebody something that you can't do. That's like me telling somebody at the end of the day, "Hey, see this car over here? You drive past 60 miles an hour, it turns purple." Now, we know darn well that's a lie. But if I sold a car on that particular pretense that they believe that that car is going to turn a different color, that's consumer fraud. All right then, there we go, people. You committed consumer fraud. You know what consumer fraud is? It's selling something that's not true. That's consumer fraud. You sold something that's not true. Lying to your customers and say they can pick up a contrast level, lie. Now, bigger problem you have. If you pick up a shade of gray, what type of shade of gray are you reading? Can't say dark if your screen's light because that'd be a lie. So what are you picking up? Can't be a light gray shade. I don't know. It might not pick up. See the white side? See the white surface right here? The white screen didn't pick up? Yeah, there we go. We tested his product. And it's your product right there on display. It does not read. Let me see. Do gray screens see contrast? There we are again. Do gray screens see contrast? Did topics on this. I got a Facebook page that talks about it all the time. And we get these people that come in there. Sometimes Jamie pops up in these rooms. And they'll start screaming and yelling at people. They'll be yelling at people all day long. It's like watching somebody in the middle of I-95 with a bullhorn trying to sell oranges, screaming at people. They're literally out there yelling at people in the room. You don't know what you're talking about? My screen paint pulls a contrast? No, it doesn't. We tested your stuff. It doesn't pull contrast. Oh my goodness. It pulls lives. That's pretty much basically about it, but it doesn't pull contrast at all, period. Now, if you were to go look up, and I think we did this thing where AI basically pulled up how to make his product, and he tried to go on AI, try to pull up how we make our product. No, our stuff is tested. Yours is not. That's a big difference right there. So AI can give you an idea how to make a black screen paint, not our screen paint, because our stuff is tested. So they would have to be to show exactly all our tests and ours. We do. Yeah, forget it. That's not going to work. I know you tried to do that, but that's not going to do it. So I'm going to help you with this one. So you try to bring it up, beat you to the punch. Now let's come over here. I got a great topic right here I had here just a few minutes ago. All right, that's for the lamp. Let me see. All right, here we go. We got it right here. Just in case Jamie pulls it up, I'm going to beat you to the punch. Because again, for some reason you think we're in the same category. And remember, if it was so easy to make the product, didn't I give you permission to make my product twice and you failed? All right, then. There you go. Couldn't make it, could you? Moving on. Let's see. Now, I put in there at the top, can a 100% black screen read white light? Now, keep in mind, in order to be able to read white light, that means at the end of the day, we couldn't pick up any snow levels. We couldn't do any white versus white demonstrations or 1,000 lumens. 50 lumens wouldn't read. Nothing would read because it wouldn't be to generate white light. It would work exactly like black paint. So they said no. A 100% black screen would not be able to read or reflect white light. They don't know our stuff at the end of the day. That's why I want to change all that. Because of the demonstrations we're going to pump into AI at the end of the day, it's going to show at the end of the day that a black technology can read white light. That'll change pretty soon. But anyway, so it says it can't do it. So we have a technology right there. As a matter of fact, my customers have it. Everybody has it. All right? So if we couldn't pull our white levels, that means all those black versus black demonstrations tests, we wouldn't have passed any of them. Because that's what's required in a black versus black. You have to be to read white light. Any black surface can read a contrast level. Can it read white light? And since we have over dozens and dozens of these demonstrations done, we can prove that hands down. That's why if you Google it, you're screwed. Because at the end of the day, if you based it off of Google, and you take us to court on it, and we pour a white level in the courtroom, you just lost $500,000 to $1 million in that environment. You see those letters that are popping up on my menu? See, I can see that crystal clear with no problem whatsoever. That means it reads white light. Let's go over here. I'm having a big screen now. All right. Let's go over here and let's pull up. Oh, microphones are on the other side. Hoo-ah. I'm going to look up the microphone on the other side. I have no idea. Now I've done these tests. More time to count. But we know at the end of the day, Jamie gets mad and he goes, oh, I'm going to look it up. Go ahead and look it up, man. At the end of the day, I have more videos than you do. Done all these tests already. Been there and done it. So let me see. Got some sticky. I'm gonna do this for you. And we got some black here, right here, some black, very black paint. Let's see if our screen can see white light next to this. White screen. Now, the theory behind black screens is that black screens can't read white light, but we're not all black screens. We're not all made equally. We're developed differently. That's why the first thing I test, anytime I get a black screen in, we don't get many of them in. It's very rare we get one of them in. But when I do test it, I test it on white levels to see how the white levels pick up next to black paint. See how bright that level is? Woo! That's a quasar. Quasar? No, it's a quantum. All right? Hopefully that stays up there. We put that up there pretty well. Now, what do you see? Oh, you see that the black paint, regular black paint, is not reading white light correctly, so it comes up too dark. So by their standard, what they're saying, no, a 100% black screen would not be able to read or reflect white light. Our technology reads white light. That's why we're picking up higher than that black surface right now, or any black surface we use. And that's why we had the highest amount of tests done on black versus anybody else. Keep in mind that a gray paint, and these are two different gray screens we have here, can't see contrast. So if you take a gray versus gray demonstration and you match that demonstration, that means that you read the exact same thing as a gray paint does. You have to show a massive difference between night and day. Oh, forgot we lowered down on that one. Let's bring it down a little bit. Keep it high. Let me see. Go. Let's go over to, let me see, because I got me in portrait. We don't have to worry about that. Let's go over to, red screen. Get a red screen. So because the screen can't read, whoops, keep forgetting we're in the lower half of this. You can keep it right there. I keep forgetting we're in portrait. We don't need to put that screen in full mode. Since our screen can read a higher white level, that means at the end of the day we can actually pick up the color better than basically black paint. Black paint would come up too dark, which means it can't read white light. Stop hitting that. So used to hitting it. I'm just using it in landscape. Blue screen. The blue screen. And happen again. See how the paint comes in too dark? Doesn't pick up those white levels. White levels is required to see color. You need both contrast and you need both black at the exact same time of a perfect balance in order to read. If you're too much off, like a gray screen doesn't have enough contrast, so it washes out. There's no contrast here. A white screen, same thing. No contrast. It washes out even worse. So you see less. A black screen, our technology, can read both. Let's get a pink color. Right, hot pink. Pink screensaver. I say pink, not pinch. Pink. Pink. Pink screensaver. Nice high pink color. Let's hit this right here. There we go. See that? Comes up dirty. So in order for our technology, in order to see those beautiful colors, means it would have to read a white level. Let's go check out some extra white levels. 4K snow screensavers. I do this every chance I can. I love doing these at the end of this. It's so much fun for me. Oh man, I tell you, I love it. Oh, here we go. Let's get over here. We got that one right there. Let's go get that cottage. Kaboom! Get the cottage. Cottage comes out dirty because it can't read white light. That black paint can't read white light. So what Google put in that, no, a 100% black screen. Our screen's 100% black. and it can read white. It can read white light. So that's just in case we beat Jamie to the punch, because Jamie go, oh, look it up. It says the same thing here. The problem what we have here is, Fernando, is you don't own my product at the end of the day. Whatever you have in that container is not my stuff. That's why you're going to court. This is why you're going to pay millions of dollars in fines, fees, and lawsuits. And this is why I'm going to take a majority of your life. Well, I'm taking all of it, to tell you the truth. The lawsuits you got coming at him at 30 years, and you being 49, and you already got to do 20 already for a cyber charge. Yeah, you already got life. You're done. But anyway, moving on. You don't have my product. Show me a receipt of my product at the end of the day. You don't have one. There you go. And you didn't get it from any customers, because I know the customers I sent that paint to. So you didn't get it from any of them. Now show me. Show us the container, which you never had. Who does a video and not show the containers? You know something's wrong there. Yeah, that technology went out to companies only. They're the only ones who got that first. We didn't send it to customers first. Companies got them. That's why I had those 3 or 4 gallons sitting on top of my table. They were companies. Neither one of them gave you that product. You made it up. That's what you did. Like you made up moving out of your place. You made it up. You're a liar. You can't say you're not a liar, right? We caught you in lies before, so move it on. Anyway, there you go. Let's get back to this gray versus gray. Matter of fact, since we're up there, let's take some of this gray and put it up there and see what happens if we put the gray against our screen. Is it going to change anything? And he's in here probably all mad and angry, upset, talking about gray screen paint's more superior. It's more superior. You kind of remind me of Taryn Owens when he went to that whole crybaby fit about somebody talking about his team. Nobody talks about my team that way. Oh my goodness, that's what he reminds me of. Oh no. Jamie reminds me of Raven. Remember Raven? Quote the Raven evermore. What about me? What about Raven? What about me? Quote the Raven evermore. That's what you remind me of. I couldn't stand Raven, by the way. All he did was cry. He did cry all the time. I couldn't stand him. What about me? What about... I know it's based at the end of the day, it's all a show. But I'm telling you, his character. The broke person is probably a really cool, nice person at the end of the day. But I'm talking about the character. I couldn't stand him. Got on my nerves. What about me? What about Raven? Raven finally did win. Eventually, he did win a match, but still. Got on my nerves with that. Quote the Raven evermore. What about me? What about Crow? Quote the Crow forevermore. And stop calling yourself Crow. Crows are very intelligent birds. You are not intelligent. I'm pretty sure in some ways you could probably be, but the dumb stuff I've seen this guy do on a regular basis, it baffles me that he knows how to open up a door without crypt notes. And I mean it. I'm dead serious. I've seen some of the dumbest stuff I've ever seen come from this guy. Surprised he does not require crypt notes to open a door. All right, we got the gray here, because he swears up and down that this gray is seeing black paint. I tested your stuff, man. It doesn't read it. Well, you know, if you need to go before a judge at the end of the day to get that reality check to kick in, I'll help you out with it. Let's get our gray up here. So let's see, the denial of the gray. Denial of the gray. I gotta make sure I check my back. Because if I don't check my back when I go up on camera, I got a weirdo that watches me. You know who? He likes to take pictures of me. Because he does that weird stuff. Anyway, so if you see, the gray screen does not make our screen unwatchable. You know why? Because that wouldn't work at all, period. Because our technology generates a white level that high. Unlike Google AI Overview was wrong about our technology. Well, it didn't mention us, so technically it didn't say. But it said no. A 100% black screen, oh, just fell off. A 100% black screen would not be able to read a reflect white light. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Even though the gray screen just left. Isn't that interesting, people? Ponder it, baby. Ponder it. Boy, if one of you guys took this and got a lawyer and all that and took me to court based on this, you would have lost your shirt in that court. I mean, literally, you lost your shirt. Like, give me the shirt. Give it to me. Give me the shirt. You lost your shirt in there. You got destroyed. Destroyed. Let's see what we got it right here. Hopefully it stays up there. It does not like my screen. That's right. Let's get some right here. Let's get some lights in here. Maybe with all this lighting. we can make our screen look unwatchable. Oh, it doesn't work. Our screen is still producing the amazing level and crushing the contrast at the exact same time. I know my stuff is tested. I've got dozens of videos, man. If you go to our website, you will see tons of these tests on our stuff everywhere. You go to their site, you won't find nothing at all. Gray screen, you're in denial. In denial. In denial. Now, let's go to the gray screen part. Now, we already proven our point in the day. See, one thing Fernando doesn't understand, and I know he's in the room right now. Hello, how you doing? Good morning. Just so you know, that I do these tests on my own products all the time, just for fun, because that's what I like to do. So I'll come out here and take gray screens don't work, but I'll put myself through the same thing and beat the test every single time. There you go. There you go. Don't let me walk you in the courtroom. You'll lose your shirt. You might just take it off. You might look. It's going to be so bad if you walk into a courtroom with us because we can back ourselves. Just take the shirt off and give it to me now. Just give it to me now. Just give it to me. And your wallet, your keys, all that. So just give it to me. Just give it to me. Because, again, you're going to owe me anyway. Anyway, let's get this kicking and going. Let's get to see if that gray screen can see a contrast level, because that's what they swear by. Take this off. You're about to come off, aren't you? Yes, you were. Because I like to put myself up there first, so that way you're not up there. They can't accuse him of saying, hey, he didn't do his own screen at the end of the day. All right, whatever. Let me see, I'm going to bring this down so it fits right there. Can't say that I didn't do my own screen, right? I do those black on black tests every day just for fun of it all, because that's what we do. But I wanted to look at that whole thing with Google we were saying at the end of the day. I looked it up on purpose so I can show you at the end of the day that it says no, a 100 screen can't see white levels. It can? Really? It can't? So what am I looking at here? I don't get it. I'm confused. I'm so confused. I got to do the topic on this. You know, I'm gonna do a video on this, right? I got to put a video on this because I'm gonna put that on blast. I got to put AI overview on blast. We're about to do this. All right, now we said we can't see white light, and all this lighting, we can't see white light. Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I must have been living a lie. Oh man, that's funny. Did you see the video on my Facebook page? Of the guy showing the background screen and all that, the quantum, yeah. In your face, Fernando. In your lies at the end of the day. I'll see you in court, buddy. I'll see you in court. And guess what? I'm going to tack on another 30 years. All right, let's get back to this. In your face. All right. The gray screen. The notorious gray screen that claims to see its contrast level. It claims to pull the ultimate contrast level. Let's see if it can do as it claims to do. Oh, we failed already from the door. We didn't even get started yet. We already failed already from the door. We're going to bring up Starfield Screensaver. Now, I've been asking for this demonstration to be done on so many levels that they just keep avoiding it. They avoid it every single time I ask them. It's a simple request. You know, you request for us to do demonstrations on white screens, white levels, and all that stuff. And I do that with no problem, do I not? I just did a few minutes ago just for fun. I have a black paint up there just for fun. Now, if we do that, why is this so hard to get a freaking gray screen to do an entire demonstration in see how well lit my environment is? No Christmas tree lights splashed behind the back of the screen. You see the lights we have here don't even fire up with that much light. How hard is it to get this test done? For you guys to do it? Why do you keep avoiding this? Every time I go to every forum site and I ask you this question, you just ignore me. Why? Because you can't do it? Then stop going online and telling people that your product reads a contrast level when clearly it doesn't. Or, if Mr. Berg is tired of this nonsense, I got to bring him back. I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to challenge your company. You know, because Epson did it. I like how Epson did that. Epson did that. You got to get this to stay up there. It doesn't want to stay. It's frightening. So, you can't make me stay. You can't. Just can't have to. Have to skip you. Chicken, 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 chicken. So, where's the contrast level at? Or are you going to force Mr. Bird to go out and spend money for a $3,000 projector to try to fix that mess at the end of the day? Or, even worse, I got to darken my environment. Do we have to darken the environment to get to work? Not when I can wash it out with a cell phone flashlight. It's okay, the lighting here we have is too dark. Let's move the screen over to it. It's too far away. All right, there we go. Sitting there. So we can't use this environment. It's too much light in here for the gray screen, so we have to help the gray screen. Let's help the gray screen. Let's help it. So we'll turn up the lights. Turn out the lights. A lot of candles. That's on back in the day. All right, now we're in the dark. I can still see the gray screen. What happens if I turn on my flashlight from my cell phone? Will that gray screen still produce a black level? No, it won't. Right here, right over here by the desk, and we can still watch the screen up from way over here with a flashlight. Do 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 do. Take it away. Put it back up. Look at that. That's horrible. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. A cell phone flashlight. So the denial of the gray. Do 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 do. 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 Do do do. It doesn't like it at all. It really doesn't like it. The gray screen's very upset and angry. Darn you. I don't want to stay up there. You can't make me. You can't. There's nothing you can do to make me stay up there. You gotta stay up there, buddy. See me put on that pressure on it? It just keeps falling off. It just does not want to be there. It really doesn't. It's very upset. But again, people lied about the gray screen. The gray screen can't see. Simple cell phone flashlight. That's all it took. So where's the contrast at? Hold on for a minute. I think we may be able to find this contrast. Let me get myself a magnifying glass. Well, first we have to turn the lights on because I can't see anything. So let's turn the lights on first. Alright, hopefully this screen won't wash up. Who am I kidding? It's already gone. Partial lighting already gone. Let's see. Do I have one around here? I should have a magnifying glass around here. Oh, I got one right there. Is this on the floor? We got a magnifying glass. Maybe we can find this contrast. So let's come on, let's go over here to join. Let's try to find it. We may be lucky, people. We may be lucky. We may find the missing contrast level of the gray screen. Nope. I'm just not seeing it. I'm looking for it. I can't find it. Man, I thought I can't find it. Maybe we call Batman. Batman's the world's greatest detective in the world. Right, he's fictional. Well, okay. Might get a detectives unit. We may be able to find it. Who knows? Where in the world is? Anyway. Alright, so we had some fun there. I know it's going to ruffle some feathers. Gray screen's over there going, no! Right now, I guarantee you that he's probably running through his apartment right now, biting down on the pillow going, ah! Well, it's true. Where are you getting this lie from? That you're seeing a contrast level. You got to stop lying. You can't do that. Black screensaver. See, the difference is that I don't come on the channel saying that a black screen is going to pull 100% white level, because that's not going to happen because of the sacrifice field. Like your gray screen doesn't read a 100% white level. Virtually impossible. Because again, this sacrifice field, which means you take away some of the whiteness, add some darkness with it, which means you can pull better contrast, not black, but you can pull better contrast, a little better color than the white screen. But your white levels drop. That's the sacrifice field. It happens as you go dark on the screen, the sacrifice field pops up. You have to be able to balance it out as you transfer through the darker technology. See how that actually works? I'm explaining to him at the end of the day because he doesn't get it. So with that being, he just left the room. Man, really, get back in here. Get back in here. You're going to learn this either way. When we go to court, I'm going to explain this to you in court, so you're going to hear it anyway. But anyway, as it goes to that sacrifice field, it starts to drop off. Now, with that being said, at the end of the day, you cannot see it. Oh, let me explain something to you. This is going to go on Google, just like all my videos go, so the world will be looking at this, so it doesn't make a difference. Whatever I say pops up there. I actually tweaked all that so to make sure that any video I shoot on YouTube pops over there, like my other stuff pops over. But anyway, let's get back to the gray screen not being able to see. We had to explain to people in the room that they feel that the only people that see this are the people that in the room don't realize that the Google algorithm system that I set up on my search engine optimizer puts me anywhere I want to be at. I designed it. Yeah, my own little special program. But anyway, let's move on. I love it when they contact me and they go, hey, you want to be on Google first? We can get you up there. And I go, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, right, whatever. You can do it yourself. You just got to know how to do it. Know how to do it. Maybe I'll show you. Maybe I won't. I don't even know. But anyway, as I said before, this video is going to pop up there anyway. So with that being said, no. What's going to happen is you can't see it. It's not popping up. It's virtually impossible. You cannot see black. No matter how much money you spend for your projector, it will not read. It's not going to happen. The projector is producing black. It's seeing black right now. As you can see, it's producing black. It's doing that. The problem is screen can't see it. Gray screen can't see it. You need both of them to work. The screen and projector must work. If you depend on the projector to do all the work, you're in a lot of trouble. That's why a lot of you are sitting in the dark right now. That's why a lot of you trying to show contrast over, you're sitting in these ultra dark environments on a projector that's literally kissing the screen. We'll move way back here and we can pull it up at 1000. 1001 contrast. There you go. Lumen count has nothing to do with it. On basically point your contrast levels, but if your lumen count's way too high and you're too close to a screen and you can't absorb, guess what you're going to do? Wash your screen out. We can't find this color. Where did this color go? We don't even know. If you're basically, if the contrast gets affected, blue screen means at the end of the day, so does your color. Because color and contrast play together. They do. They don't separate, they play together. Now see, on the gray screen, color and contrast have separated. They're in a different school. One's over here, one's over there. They don't play together. But in our technology, they do. That's why the color looks so beautiful. Did they explain any of this stuff to you over there on their channel? They don't. You know what they say to you? Oh, look at the screen. Look how amazing the color. Let's zoom in on it. Let's show you the detail. Oh my goodness, it's breathtaking. I'm reading 100% contrast in a dark environment with a highly inky projector that's going to cost my customers a ton of money. And if they can't afford it, their contrast levels are going to suffer. Therefore, they can't be in a fully lit environment because it will still suffer no matter how much money they spend. And at the end of the day, they will have to calibrate. Because you calibrate. On a projector that has 1.7 billion colors. Fernando. Because he calls himself the Great King. I am the Great King. I am the Great Gray. Great King. I am the Great King of Nottingham. Hear ye, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me speak. I know all about gray screens. They can pull on my special Elixir screen paint. I guarantee a 100% contrast. Man, you'll be hanging by the gallows by noon. Are you kidding? You'll be hanging by the gallows by noon. The people be in an uproar. They be raising and carrying on time. No, he swindled us. It does not pick up black. It picks up gray. Next you know, soldiers will be at your front door like, unhand me. Get your hand off me. I'm a great man at the end of the day. And then we read out the scroll to you at the end of the day about you want to get your head chopped off and swinging from a rope somewhere at the end of the day, or hanging in the gallows somewhere. You don't want to be in that nonsense. Or, even worse, they'll put you in the stockade. But you don't want to be in there. Because, again, that's public humiliation. Most likely they'll probably stick in public humiliation. Put them in a stockade. People throw food at you, all kinds of stuff like that. Really weird stuff to people in the stockade. You ever read stuff on that? Yeah. I told you, I'm in a dark history. I read the dark history about medieval torture devices and what it was a stockade. Boy, that was a humiliating and weird machine to be in. Just put it this way. People can do stuff to you, there's nothing you can do. So, yeah, weird stuff. Anyway, so, he would be in there. He'd be like, Hittery, ladies and gentlemen, people of the choir. You know, this pound choir and all that. And then today we are prosecuting a fellow by the name of Sir Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. Its crimes, its lied to the community. The community. He has told them that his product had the ability to produce this magical black level, and therefore he told and outlined this lie. By then, when the guards would smack you, because he brought the screen too. It does not read. It has its in total darkness, believing in nothing but fairy tales and leprechauns and all those other nonsense of shenanigans. Therefore, I sentence you to life in the stockades until you die. That's not even what would happen to you, seriously. That'd be a horrible part of it all. You just better just get beheaded. Or yeah, it'd be a lie. Definitely a lie. It'd be in the Wild Wild West in the era. You'd be some guy running around with some wagon talking about, I've got this magical elixir that'll feel all your heels and pains, and other than the day, it's a magic paint in the day. You paint it on your wall, it'll automatically turn all your magic projectors wouldn't be around at the time, but still be funny to think about it. All your gray worries will just wash away, because then they live in the land of the Wild Wild West where they have projectors. We're going out on a limb here. Wild Wild West, they have projectors, and everybody suffers from the gray screen-itis. And he's got a cure for the gray screen-itis. He comes in here with his truck and tells people at the end of the day, he's selling this magical paint that can turn to black levels automatically. People are like, oh, black levels? We can get black levels on our gray screens? We can get black levels? This is unbelievable. And this guy comes out, it's true. I've got the black levels too. Of course, they all work together because you have to somebody basically stage and set the whole thing up. It works 100%. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's absolutely into midnight. So he'll paint it up. Everybody will paint it up, and then he'll disappear, and it'll all get ripped off. Of course, he goes from town to town to town. But you know what happens is, the one person you screw over happens to be a professional gunfighter. And those are the ones you don't trigger off, because those suckers are in every town. And one day he's in there getting something to drink, a little sarsaparilla at the bar. He says, give me 2 sarsaparillas. I just made a great sale. And somebody in the back playing poker recognizes your voice and walks over into you and says, you're that little down little scoundrel that sold me that gray paint and swore at the end of the day he was going to pull black. So nothing but a complete liar over here. Let's go outside. I'm going to talk this over. You know what's going to happen when you go outside, right? He's going to walk away from you. He's going to give you a chance to draw, but bam! You're going to be going just like that. Next you know, they're going to be out there picking off your boots and your whatever you have on you, if any valuable. They take all that stuff from them, and then they're going to basically just toss them inside of one of those pine boxes and take a picture of them with that whole flat go off, and that's it. He's probably won it in all 50 states anyway. Anyway, this is a funny story to tell. The gray screen doesn't work. All jokes aside, gray screens don't work. They can't read, they can't function, they don't pick up. They did serve a purpose at one point. They were able to pick up better than white screens. That's why at the end of the day, the argument between white and gray screens were that the fact that the white screen picks up a much more pure, whiter color, it's much more beautiful, it's more brighter, and the gray screen comes up dirty. That was literally the topic at that particular point. The gray screen's argument was that we pick up better color, better contrast. Our white levels, yes, are going to drop due to the fact of the sacrifice field, but it's worth it due to the fact that we can pick up in a little bit more lighting better than the white screen. And that's why the gray screen won over the white screen, because of that particular purpose. Better color, a little better shade of gray, and then on top of that, being able to generate in some well-lit environment. So when I say well-lit, a light environment with a light bulb in the room. Because at one point, if you watched any of the demonstrations when white screens came out, and people were all over YouTube advertising projectors, like people were buying all these projectors, and the thing wasn't anymore about having a projector in your dedicated theater room, it was about having a projector in your bedroom. So these people would have a great big huge 100-inch, or 100 was the popular size, 100-inch screen, and they would have these projectors in there showing off their gaming and Xbox and so forth in there, and PlayStation in there, game off these giant screens. That's what became the big craze of the projectors, of being able to project in your room with this projector on this giant screen. Well, it fell down. So that became the big craze. The problem was that more and more people wanted to use it with the lights on. And as that craze started to come in, the white screen started to wear off, and somebody started developing their own gray paint. Nobody knows who to this day. They call it YouTube paint. It was black and white paint, by the way. So anyway, with that being said, the gray screen and white screen went at it, and basically the highlight of the white screen was saying it's white levels, but the gray screen was saying it was its contrast and color. So now you got gray screens today, and they're obsolete. And the reason why, because you have gunmetal technology, and gunmetal technology produces better contrast, and reflective surface includes a tremendous white level. They have higher gains with the 0.9 and 0.8 because they can produce in higher raw environments, where the gray screen paint has lucky to have a 2.0. Yeah, there you go right there. But the reason why the gray screen still exists is due to the fact the gunmetal was extremely expensive, between $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a screen. So if you couldn't afford that screen, you went to the budget, and the budgets were white and gray. That's what you went to. Until black technology came along, which is us. We came along and we developed a technology having conflict, but having involvement with an actual gunmetal technology, which would have been diamond technology, seeing their darker technology being much more superior than the actual gray screen paint we developed and sold. See, this is why you naysayers at the end of the day seriously need to crack books at the end of the day. I can educate you on your own product at the end of the day. You know how I realized that a darker product was more superior? Because I used to make your product a long time ago. I made every single one of your versions of gray screen paint. I made it on so many different levels that it's not even funny. On so many mixtures, it's not even funny. I was even contracted. So with that being said, since back then when I was selling gray screen paint, you could check my track record. More beta testers than you had. More customers than you had. My product sold for more money. And I had a global contract attached to me. What did you have now? Nothing like that. All right then. That means I knew how to make that stuff better than you. And sell it and market it better than you. As a matter of fact, my Digital One channel, when you go back there and check from that era, I had 10 times more video demonstrations than what you guys have today. All right then. That speaks volumes right there. So if the judge ever asks me what's my experience in gray, I know it like the back of my hand. I can make your stuff. Okay, with that being said, so anyway. So, as I said before, the gray screen at that particular time was the superior screen. Then you had the diamond technology come out, and that's what I experienced, diamond technology for the first time. Watching this, it leveled every single screen paint, and my product was better than theirs, and it leveled all my stuff. And that's when I realized that I'm in the wrong direction. I got to start leaning toward darker technology, and this is where the D4K, D5K, and D6K. And that's why I have a copy of the email that was sent to me where Diamond reached out to me and said my product had potential. Where's yours at? You don't have one, do you? Of course you don't have one. You know why? Because they acknowledge, they watch everything, and they acknowledge that your product didn't work at all to begin with because it was gray. They've already tested against gray. If a diamond took out my great product and I was more popular than you when I was making my product, then at the end of the day, what makes you think you could take on a black diamond technology? Because you can't. There you go. So, whose expert level would be higher in gray screen paint? It would be me. I was here first. Way before you. Way before you. That's why I know you don't know what you're talking about. Because when Jamie sits there and says out of his mouth and says that, it's about the white levels. No, you idiot. It wouldn't be about the white levels because that wouldn't make any sense if it was about the white levels. Because the fact that if you were challenging a white screen, you can't go against a white screen when it comes to white levels. To this day, you can't do that. A white screen has a much more superior level. It would be contrast in color. That's what it'd be. But the problem you have at the end of the day, you have technology much more superior than a gray screen. Now, getting back to Diamond taking out our technology, this is where I started engineering darker technology. And engineering darker technology at the end of the day, this is where we came across being able to have a screen that came extremely close to the black diamond technology. With that being said, that's when they contacted me, because they're watching my work. Now, with that being said, at the end of the day, thinking that the black diamond screen was actually black, I thought it was black, but I realized it was a really dark gray, and I had to go ask my friend about, what is this? It's not gray, it's darker than gray. What is it? And he said, oh, it's gunmetal. He's the one I learned from. He's a projector guru. I learned that stuff from him. So anyway, as I came back and I said, gunmetal. I've never heard of gunmetal. So I researched and everything, found out what gunmetal was, what it was all about. It's way, way darker than gray. The best gunmetal you can have is right on the edge of being almost black, but not black. They're mistaken for black screens. We developed that before multiple times. Anyway, with that being said, the reason why some of the other gunmetals are a little lighter, because they can collect better white light. We're able to collect light in black levels with no problem. So that's why making an extremely dark gunmetal is easy for us, because we can understand white light. With the other gunmetals that we faced, at the end of the day, they were much more lighter to collect higher white levels. Ta-da! Yeah, I know all that stuff. I studied all this stuff. So anyway, with that being said, gunmetals were more expensive, and people leaned toward the gray screen paints, because again, if you couldn't afford one of those heavy high-end screens, you got gray. That's what you got. Until we came up, which we started testing all our technology, not against gray screen paints. Why we test against you guys? And then we know we can take you guys out. It was the gunmetals we had to take out. So that's what we did. We got to work. We got to testing all the gunmetal screens. That's why tons of demonstrations of beating all these different types of gunmetal to prove at the end of the day that we can pull better color, our white levels could blend, and we could basically pull a 10 times better contrast level because we were actually black screens. So with that being said, our technology being far more superior than the gunmetal, and we cost actually way less than the gunmetal, this is why we became more popular than gray. And this is where the gray screen paints became furious and upset with us and tried to, I'm not saying all of them, just particular ones, tried to basically say that our product came up too dark and unwatchable. And this is why a certain individual named Fernando Gonzalez, Jamie Fernando Gonzalez, is going to go to court for multiple lawsuits and also to concluding committing massive fraud against our American companies. Ain't gonna go well for you, buddy. You're going to spend a lot of time in the hole. You're going to be there for a long time. At 30 years per charge. You're going to be there for a while. So you're going to spend the rest of his life in prison. So you got to prove that in court. You got to back it up in a courtroom that our product came up as dark as you claim, because that's the only thing you had left. Let's make the product look dark so people can stay away from black screens. Yeah. Big mistake. Anyway, so that's why he became frustrated with it. The other gray screens just stay far away from us. We stay far away from them. They're in their own world. We're in our own world. We leave it at that. But that's the only thing he had. And he tried to make a black paint. He failed multiple times. There was no black Frankenstein. Didn't exist. The ultra black was something he made at the last minute to put into that little contest that went over there. And you've never seen that stuff made again? No, he just made it for something short because he knew he couldn't put the gray product in there because it wouldn't work at all, period, because it was a fail. There you go. And with that, the reason why you can't make black screen paint, Fernando, because I gave you permission twice to make my product. And what happened? You failed twice. I had to go in there and make a cheap black version to show that you didn't make it black. Yeah. And beat that on camera too. Oh my goodness. Even took the gray paint that he used to put in it to make it lighten the white levels and turned that into a gray paint. 3 of them. And beat that and match your product with it. So I told you on camera. What did I say on camera? I said, if you fail this, I'm going to dance around that camera. What happened? I danced around the camera. Now, getting back to the gray screen. Let's get some more contrast levels before we finish this up. If you want to see if this gray screen can actually see contrast, I don't know. Let's try. Let it try. But I put it up here. Let it try. I like to explain all that in there. Let's get to trying. Hopefully that stays up there and keeps going off. But let's get to trying. Let's see if we can get this in and see a contrast. So we got partial lidding here now. So it should be to do something, right? In partial lidding. So let's get Sony OLED contrast. Nope, not even close. Sony OLED contrast. As you can see, it's not even pulling up in my menu. So how in the world are you going to work? And you can't even read in my menu. Gray screen, gray screen, gray screen, gray screen. Now you notice all the areas that turn tan is where the screen can't read the contrast level. And that's pretty bad. Now, question I would ask is, at the end of the day, how can your gray screen work for my environment? I'm not changing out my projector. I'm happy with my 1000:1 contrast. I'm not changing out my environment. Of course, you're lucky we have all the lights on it here. So, how are you going to benefit? I don't want to hear that we have to calibrate, because I heard that already when I'm talking to somebody in the church. And the environment wasn't even well lit. I can't even believe you sat there and set all the lights on. You see the fire exits at the end of the day? The fire exits were dark. How could all the lights on if you can't even see the fire exits? Of course the lights are not even on. And then turn around and said to the guy at the end of the day, he said, no, he said, better than any black screen. My screen wouldn't be sitting in an environment that dark to begin with. We wouldn't have that problem. And calibration? Oh, heck no. Look, Fernando, if I can stick a screen through a window at the end of the day at 150, and oh, it's gonna go at 150 inches, wouldn't you think there'd be more light outside that screen than it would be in that church? All right then. Then why in the world would I sit there and no, please get out of here with that nonsense. The product didn't work. The guy was even upset because you can see the way he's walking back and forth. He kept comparing the white screen at the end of the day. He was very unhappy with it. And then he asked all the lights on. Did you see the fire exits? Does it look like all the lights on? I've never seen a church that dark in my life. None of the lights weren't on. So if the lights weren't on and you were in partial lit environment and you said, well, once we calibrate it'll look better, wow, I can't imagine how awful it's going to be when they turn the lights on. I'm pretty sure it was not happy at all with that screen. Wasted their time. Mind me, where those screens are sitting at, up on that wall, let me get some more tape today. Where those screens are sitting up on that wall, how high they're up, they got to bring in a maintenance crew to move them off that wall. So it's not something like me and you can take something on the wall. Those screens are up there, and it's on this freaking lock bracket system. So they have to bring some kind of maintenance crew to come in, get up on ladders, and remove them off that wall. That's work for a paint that doesn't work. So you cost them time and money. That's what you did. People don't look into that. But then when they have them screens hanging up there that high, that they have to bring a crew in to get the screens off the wall, transfer them outside for him to paint over with that screen paint to come back and have zero results. You sat in a dark environment. I literally have it on recording. You sat in a dark environment and sat there and said to them that in that all the lights on. And the guy's like, no, there's more lights than this. You didn't look at the fire exits. It's super dark over there. There's no way in the world it's fully lit in there. And they go, oh, okay. Well, it'll look much better once we calibrate it. So he just admitted to everybody on YouTube that your paint at the end of the day couldn't even work in that dark environment, and it still requires calibration. Oh, if I were him, it's a good thing he's the Reverend, because man, he was a nice guy. You can tell he's very nice about it. But he wasn't talking to him about anything. He didn't come over and talk to him about anything. No, he didn't. You know why? Because he was looking back and forth. He didn't see a comparison. I guarantee he was bothered by that. When people are happy with your work, they're all up in your face. They're talking to you. Yeah, so. Yes, they're discussing stuff with you. They like it. They're telling you they like it. He didn't step off that stage to have a conversation with them. I can tell body language at the end of the day wasn't happy. And you still got to calibrate? Are you kidding me? In that dark environment, you got to calibrate? Yeah. See, that's what happens when you use an ultra short throw projectors all day long, and you sit them up in dark environments all day long. It's different when you're in commercial. Did he show any demonstration when all the lights were on? No. Why weren't all the lights on when you did the demonstration? Why was it in the dark in there? There you go, because your stuff don't work. That's why. Did you see me in the dark at any time when I'm showing up demonstrations, when I'm on site? No. When I was in the caring place walking around, did we go in there dark in the environment? No. All right then. That tells them at the end of the day that they can use the screen in a fully lit environment, in their commercial environment, without the screen ever washing out, because now they're at maximum lighting in their environment, where you are in a dark environment. So God forbid what happened when they turn those lights on. Sheesh. This Lord. So since this video is going to be all over Google, and it is going to be all over Google, the fellow who basically did the poor job for the church and the guide screen on top of the deck that was completely washed out is a fellow by the name by Jamie Fernando Gonzalez that used to have a website under Crow Screen Paint Mixes, which is now down for good. And the reason why he removed the site is because, again, there's a lot of problems with it. Problems for matching house paint. If you want to find out more about this individual, you go to our black site. Our list, it's called the Blacklist. It'll be over at www.ileg-technology-screens-info. I'll put the link below. Matter of fact, I'll put the Blacklist below, so check it out for yourself. And you'll see the nonsense that this guy went on. Whoop, that's down. The nonsense this guy went on trying to convince people and lie to them that this product was actually working when it was just nothing but a huge scam to begin with. Now, Fernando, if you feel at any given day you feel that anything I said in my mouth is not true, that your product does not read a 100% contrast level, your product requires calibrating, your color matches house paint, if you think anything in the blacklist is false, how long has the blacklist been operating? All right then, have you ever contacted with me an attorney about suing me about the blacklist? No. You know why? Because it's all true, and we're using that evidence to prosecute you in court, your company and you. So again, your products are fake. And this is another video that will pop up on Google for all to see everywhere in the world. Your product does not work. The gray screens do not function as they're supposed to. They don't pick up 100% contrast. They don't pick up black levels. They don't pick up anything at all, period. They do pick up something, because they have to read something, but everything is off balance. That's why they require calibration, because it's off. When y'all pick up green, you pick up a flat line of green. Green comes in multiple colors. If you look at the forest, are all the trees green the same color? They're not. All right then, your projector produces an image, it shows the forest. The forest has multiple colors, different shades of green. You're not even picking that up. You're just picking up a flat, dull green. There you go. How are you going to pick up, you're looking at fruit, and the stem of an apple is black. How are you going to pick that up? Can't even pick up red correctly. How are you going to pick up the color 100% black level that's pulling off the stem of an apple? Can't see it. There we go. Oh, the ruffleness. Now that's the reason why I came on here and I did the demonstration of the gray paint next to my technology, the white. I looked it up and see what AI said about my product not being able to read a white level, and we showed it did read a white level. Even next to a gray screen was not able to turn it unwatchable. So I did my own stuff. So at the end of the day, you can't sit there and go, why hide stuff? Don't hide anything at the end of the day. I do it right there on camera every single day. I have more demonstrations on black than your little heart can desire. Which, this is my website right here. And you can see my test below, where he doesn't have any, where his website's not there anymore. Let's see, let's go over here. And every single one of my shopping carts, my customers can go in and they can check out test links and everything. You have any test link on your stuff? Oh, you don't do test. That's why you have links in there. There you go. That's why you copy our specification sheets, but you don't know that. Yeah, we have it on recording. Copy their specification sheets, of course. He's even copying my YouTube name right now. You know why? Because he wants to be me at the end of the day. So badly wants to be me. You can't be me. I'm sorry, you can't. You have to be you. That's what you have to do. But you can't be me. So when you sat there and you shot a video and you said that I'm obsessed with you, this would be wrong if you're copying my name trying to be me. That would make you obsessed with me. Because I don't copy your name. You copy us. So your YouTube channel says my company's channel. All right then. That would make you a stalker. That would make you obsessed. Taking all those weird pictures and stuff of me we posted, we're taking to court for cyber stalking. That makes you obsessed with me. There you go. Copying my my specification sheets. We don't copy yours. First of all, no. Second of all, you couldn't even max out 8,000 with that. We max out 8,000. All right, marketplace right here. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, more products. Let me see. There we go. There's my test right there. Right there at the bottom. Anyone can go there. Black versus black video test demonstrations. We got tests on everything you can possibly think of. Every screen paint has to go through one of those tests. Where's everybody else that has a gray screen? Where's your gray versus gray? Now, if you ever want to say one of these demonstrations are fake, guess what? Got a $500,000 contract waiting for you. Nobody wants to sign those either. What? We can go into court, I'll paint it to my screen, and you get done, you owe me $500,000. Might as well take your shirt off, your car keys, and your shoes, give it all. Might as well get yourself a wheelbarrow and get inside of it and walk on out like in Monopoly when you get raped and you have to go past that $200, pass, don't pass, go. And the person you know owns all the property on this side, so you know you're doomed on whatever you hit. You might just give them the $200. Because you're not going to make it through. So that's what's going to happen when you walk into a courtroom with me. My stuff is tested. That's why I can come in here and do that. I did that. Every time I show a black paint against my product, I'm doing one of these for fun. So you might as well just give me everything. Before we can get to the door, you say, oh, you Mr. Bird? Yes, sir. Here you go. Here go my keys, my house, my car keys, here's my credit cards, all that, my bank. He used to take it all, man. You might as well. Guess what's going to happen when I get done in that courtroom? You're going to owe me so much money, it's not even funny. We do these all day. Here we go. This is the quasar technology. This is what he's being challenged in court on the quasar. He said it came up too dark. The quasars are tested. So how in the world are you claim to have the quasar technology and you said our product came up dark? On a customer we requested a ship back on multiple times and didn't give up the product because he tampered with it. That's going to cost you a lawsuit, and the guy over in Canada, which I told you, I got a lawyer right now working on trying to expedite him over here to the U.S. for processing. Yeah, how was that? Even my t-shirt, they said that the t-shirt I was walking around matched the screen. There's my t-shirt right there. There's more tests. We got more tests coming up on this. I got that other one I got to do next. I got to do that one next. So, no, all our tests are right there for everybody to see. Question, where were their tests? They're not there. They don't have any tests on black versus black. And the other one, Danny, who called himself doing, I don't know what that mess is. That Series C is trash. Who called himself doing the test on the Series C versus our product, which again, you got to go to court for that because you claim that to be a phantom. That was black paint in there. But your screen wasn't even black. It was gray the entire time. Liar, liar, pants on fire. See you squirm, see you suspire. Not a thing you say is true. There you go. Y'all lie too much. But where y'all test at? Come on, back it up. Where y'all stuff at? Where y'all test? Y'all supposed to have them there. Customers. Again, the gray screen denial. No tests. They don't have on their products. I gotta put these customers in here too. I keep forgetting to put my customers in there. Do 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 do. Do. Oh, don't run, Jamie. We're gonna heat you up. We get you in that courtroom, we're gonna heat you up big time. I told you, my lawyer can't stand him. He's looking forward to giving you life. Yeah, this right here is the whatchamacallit, the movie screen. They did the test on my product. So they had to do a night scene and they had to do a day scene. They got more videos. I asked them to give me some fish, stuff like that, but that's the test they were doing in the background. Now, this technology here, the Quasar, is going to be painted up on a 300-inch screen in the showroom. Yep. See right here? You can even see, I guess they're doing, I wonder if I asked him if he's doing a zombie movie, because that was kind of a zombie set. Oh, if it's a zombie setup. I got some stuff I want to send out. You know, I'm big about zombie films and stuff like that. I don't do like video games and stuff like that, but I'm gonna send over some stuff to him. We are gonna send them over because I wanted him to do a beta test run for some of the screens we have. So I'm gonna set him up some of the surfaces we have and stuff like that, sample packets, whatever he needs at the end of the day. Because I'm really curious about some of the stuff he does over here. Hey, read the graffiti on the car. And he made all these statements at the end of the day that our stuff was so unwatchable. Lie, man. Just lie his brains out. How would you be to see the individual stripes in the parking lot? Yeah, jealous. That's what he is. Jealous at the end of the day. Mad and jealous. At the end, upset and bitter with us and jealous because his products don't work. Nobody won't buy him no more. Well, you screwed your life up, didn't you? Yes, you did. So, again, as I said before, I'll see you in court. We're going to ask for $2 million. Actually, $2 million for this lawsuit. The rest of them are different. They're separate. So I did them separate. We're not going to do all the same thing. It's separate. I want you to get time for each one of them. I told you I had that dream where I seen him in court in a jumpsuit getting charged again. And thank you so much. They bought from us the first time. They're repeated customers. They bought from us again. That's how terrified he is. Anytime you see us bring out a product and you see him advertise again right away, he's scared of it. That's what he's scared of. That's why he does it. You mean to tell me I got all those customers to show my demonstrations on every level you could possibly think of? We've been in all different kinds of locations showing our products at the end of the day. and we still got to back our stuff up at the end of the day. No, not. I wouldn't say that's customer. I got to get those two separated. That's naysayers at the end of the day that are acting like customers to try to make it seem that our products are bad. I got customers that chime in and tell me every day when I talk to them, like, "Hey, Mr. Burr, you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you for keeping your prices fair so we can all afford it at the end of the day." I know my customers. I know the difference between my customers and you haters out there at the end of the day. Got a little message for you haters at the end of the day. 2025, 2026, and so forth, it's going to be a new era for our company. I told you I brought some people on board. I got some people literally that can dig the earth up on you. So if you think you can hide behind your little PC and cell phone at the end of the day, and you get one of those little black letters, because that letter's going to be all in black. I'm doing all my freaking lawsuits, everything will be in black. It's our specialty at the end of the day, because we got black technology. You see when there's a black envelope pop up, that means you just got sued by my company. And that means in order for that letter to be there, that means I have enough evidence on you to prosecute you in court. When you don't show up, someone else will show up to your front door to take your stuff. So if you see when those little black envelopes pop up in your mail, that means we got you. I want to make sure my stuff stands out. You know what I mean? You know, because you get a lot of white mail, and I want to make sure my letters all come in black. So, you know, if you ever see a black envelope pop up in your mail, and you know you're on YouTube doing something you shouldn't have did, and let you know at the end of the day, we know where you live at, and we'll see you in court. Take your time and sit down and open it up slowly. I mean, a lawyer, get a lawyer to read through it. But I can guarantee you it'll be over $1 million what we'll sue you for. Now, these jokers will be sitting there checking their mailbox to see if any black. Yeah, don't worry about it. They'll pop up. We got 2 of them coming over to whatchamacallit. Get them set up and getting them ready. Going to the Williams. Williams about to get removed out of his building. I'm going to reach out to his social worker. All that. To stuff you were doing. And carrying on acting up in that building. You know better than that, man. At the end of the day, come on, you know better than that. And you're advertising in that building too on top of that. Can't do that. Can't advertise in those buildings. Can't make money in advertising those buildings like that. You can't. Do you know you got that thing painted on the wall like that in there? They don't, do they? It's housing authority. There's certain restrictions and rules you can't do. I know, because I used to be in one. And what you're doing in there, advertising and all that stuff, you can't do that in there. It's like on your Facebook page where you're asking people, begging for people for donations because you're a preacher or something. You had that splattered all over your page and got rid of it. You literally got rid of the page. Got to watch out for these guys at the end of the day. Crooked preacher trying to sell paint. Let me see. Hold on for a minute. And the way you say is true. Do, 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 do. There you go. That's what's coming to your building. A lot more than that. That's about to come to your building. He got rid of that Facebook page. And that Facebook page shows him asking people for money, begging for money. We got all your videos. Your entire page is duplicated. So you can understand this. Your page was duplicated, which means we got your videos, everything. Everything was pre-recorded. So you're done. We got you. So the minute he got rid of the page, that lets you know at the end of the day that he's trying to hide stuff because you know he's wrong. He's going to get booted. Got all your letters with the address of where you live at on these letters, which he put the address on right there, showing he was sending out letters to people. This right here used to be his Facebook page. Yep, got your whole page is all duplicated now. Calling yourself Brethren Derek E-Bikes. You're running a business out of there. Can't do that. It's a violation. There you go. Remember this right here? This right here shows, it says right here, look at me. Clean in my new place. Right there's the camera, and there's right there asking for money. Cash App. Cash App. Reverend Brethren with a money symbol next to it. Yeah, buddy. Gotcha. We duplicated the whole page of you requesting and asking money from people while you were in that place. Now, they're going to ask your credentials because we ask for your credentials most of the time and you don't have them at all. So he's on his way. It's another person you got to be careful about too, been scamming people on YouTube. I know, you in the room? You're in the room, aren't you? Yeah, so this is being sent to several people, the building assistants in your building. You're over in the towers. That's where you're at right now. We know people in the low rises. So the low rises was going to be sent this document. The people in the high rises will be sent the document, and you're going to be sent one. They're going to deliver it to you. The same thing that's in your package is in their package, but theirs is a little bit different. It also explains that we're suing their the public housing unit, basically due to the fact that you were harassing us. We also pinged your IP address, and you came back to Xfinity. That's what your internet service is, right? That's what you were using. It was coming up on emails. So all those emails you sent over, you sent them from their unit. Now he thought he got rid of this page. He wanted to delete the whole page. Okay. Brother Derek E-Bikes. Let's see if that page is there. Let's go look for it real quick, since we got a little time. And this is another person who calls himself selling. We can't sell screen paints. He can't sell anything in there. He can't. He's not supposed to. But the fact that he's advertising it, he's on his way out. And got your interesting letters. And these letters right here have the address of the place where he's at right now. It has the unit. So his unit is within that unit. We thought it was low rises, but I know somebody in the low rises is actually over in the high rises. That area where you have next to your screen, that's where your balcony sits at in the high rises. Tell me if I'm wrong on that one. I know the blueprints of your building. So I know for a fact that that balcony, so that means you're in a high rise. Low rises don't have those. And that's why I talked to somebody over in the low rises, which is a good friend of mine now on my Facebook page, and they let me know that you're over in the other building. So we got packages going out to everybody. So if you think we forgot about you because the package didn't show up, no, that's because we're gathering tons of information and getting ready to talk to other people involved, and like people involved in preachers who commit crimes and people that are faking it. Maybe he's basically got fake tax documents where he's claiming it's a 501 form, where he's claiming at the end of the day that, he doesn't have to pay any taxes. There's a lot of stuff he could be doing, claiming as a preacher. Fake clergy IDs, they use them sometimes to go in and get free benefits, because sometimes, they'll eat for free or to get a discount or whatever, and he could be using it that way too. Yeah, oh well, you'll figure it out. We'll send them over all the documents, but those packages are coming soon. There's 3 of them. Actually, there's 4 going out. It'll have our address on it. Unlike you, my address and all my information will be on there. My contact numbers, where they can reach out to us. Unlike you, we put our address where we're going to be at. So they can reach out to me, contact me. My number's right there. They can reach out to me anytime they want to. So we can have a nice little discussion about the problems we've been having from you. Are you basically violating the terms and condition of the building you're sitting in? All right, let me see. Oh, right here. This picture at the bottom, he calls himself minister. Minister in this picture. Calls himself a minister. See? You call yourself a minister. Minister, brother, and Derek. You're not a minister. You don't even have a degree as a minister. You're fake. So, you better make sure you have your documents on you. And keep in mind, it's 5 years to get a bachelor's or doctorate degree in Bible studies. It's 5 years. You don't have 5 years. So you don't have that paperwork on you. There's a lot of interesting people. They're going to have you under a magnifying glass. They're going to want to ask you all these questions about why you're calling yourself a minister. It's against the law. And this is what's in his police report. Right there. His face and him calling himself a minister. It's in the police report. That's what we're going to send over to him. Your docket number. Showing at the end of the day that you were posing to be a police officer, a minister of the church, and asking for donations, which means we have recording of showing your Cash App asking for money and your PayPal asking for monthly donations. Lights out. Let's go over real quick to, let me see. I'm going to check his Facebook page, see if it's still there. So the Facebook page was under, let me see, here. No, it's the e-bike. It was there. So let's hit here on the e-bike. All right, let's see if this page is still there. I'm curious. Why would you get rid of the page? Unless you weren't supposed to be doing that. Because I talked to people in your building. I talked to your assistant managers in your building. And under the rules and regulations of that unit, you broke a lot of laws. And you're not supposed to be. Some of those people in there are very God-fearing religion people, and they don't like the fact that you're posing as a minister and a reverend and you're taking money. And you probably didn't report any of that money coming in due to the fact that you're claiming that you're a preacher, right? That's what you're doing, right? Tax-free money, right? Let me see. And you're affiliated with Fernando Gonzalez, because you guys know each other. Boy, I'm telling you, this gets better and better, doesn't it? My sister, I told you, she knows people. She worked for the IRS. She dug the earth up on them. We got all kinds of stuff on Mr. Williams. E-bike. Gotta be careful about people you contacted and they don't know who they can be connected to. I've kind of warned people about that, sending letters out to people. You don't know who people are connected to. That's the dumbest thing you could do. And when she found out, she looked him up and found out he was in Section 8. In that section, she was like, oh, you're done. You're finished. So, yeah. And they dug the earth up on him. Got your file. Yeah, I can't get it because, again, that's confidential, but they got it. And she's going to basically file criminal charges against you because you contacted her from that apartment unit. So she's going to reach out to that branch and let them know the problems that she's been having with you and why she needs to have you evicted from the building. So let's look this up. Let's go to Facebook and turn to the side because I got some customers popping up on this side. I'm going to go hunt this thing down, see if we can find it. Let's see. So he's under e-bikes. No, it's brother. Make sure we got this thing out correctly. All right. Yes, brother and Derek e-bikes. That's what it is. Okay, brother and Derek e-bikes. Let's see. Oh, wrong keyboard. Always the keyboard. So let's see. Cat, that's the first time, right? Brethren. Alright. Derek. Now I see on your channel, or we recorded off your channel yesterday, we recorded that you're showing my face on your channel. It's your thumbnail. The person, so you know how deep in trouble you got yourself in, your manager, one of them, is actually on my Facebook page. They've seen my face. So they can match that face to what you have posted on your site of you know, showing my face on there and slandering me. They can match that to what's on my profile on Facebook. You screwed yourself so badly, it's not even funny. When I saw a picture of myself up there, I was like, wow, he messed up really badly. Yeah, so a few of your managers are sitting on my Facebook page. I'm good friends with them. And they've been through my pictures and stuff. We're cool. We all hang out. Their family, you know, they're real nice people at the end of the day. So I took a screenshot of that so I can send that over to email to that so I can show them that you have been basically taking my identity, my pictures, and you've been posting them inside of that apartment complex. Now, if that made you pee yourself a little bit, it should. I guess moving's going to be a pain in the neck, right? Let's see. Stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I swear, I told you, some people at the end of the day do not have any common sense. I didn't think I knew people in this building. I know people in your building, man. All right, we got Brother Derek. That's what we're looking for right now. This is what we're hunting for. On e-bikes, right? Let's see if we find this. There's nothing there. See all posts? We got this guy right here. He basically does movies and stuff on YouTube. That's definitely not you. It's only one person. It's just him. Ask Larry there. This guy right here. And I follow him. So you're not even here. I said, look for all. He's the only one that came up. So what happened to your page? What did you do with it? You got rid of the page. You know why? Because if the Housing Authority or Section 8 finds out that he was in there collecting donations off the people and he was ripping them off, that means that's an automatic termination of his lease. That's why he removed it. Now, if I got pictures of your account right there, we got a duplication of your Facebook page and everything on it, that means at the end of the day, that account was there. And now it's gone. They can't find it. And the reason why they can't find it, because you got rid of it, because again, you stayed on the south side. You're actually on the south side of Baltimore, Maryland. You're on the south side right over there. So you did give out your location. And then you put your address down in each one of these envelopes. And the addresses actually go directly to where your building's at, right here. This is where you're at, right? Baltimore, Maryland, right? That's where your building's at. So, when you open up one of these, which you're going to send over to them, they're going to find out your handiwork, what you've been doing and carrying on, and the fact that how you've been taking money off of people by asking for donations, scamming people. They're saying you're a church member, a person of the church or the cloth, and you don't have any of those credentials on you. You've been using your Facebook page to advertise and brag about, yeah, you're moving to the new place. That's all nice and well, but to donate and get money from people. So now you're going to have some very important people coming to see you. I told you at the end of this month, we're getting that taken care of for you. Now, Mr. Williams is another person to try to swindle people on black paint. We caught him claiming to be to do the same thing, and we gave him an ultimatum. We said bottom line is that we give him about roughly 3 weeks that he can put his screen paint, try to sell it. He can't sell it. He knows John Boy can't sell it. He doesn't know what he's doing. Another scammer at the end of the day got busted. Trying to claim to make a black screen paint product. He's going to try to rip people off at the end of the day, and you know what he's trying to do is try to scam them. But anyway, he's been scamming people before the screen paint is claiming to be a fake preacher, which he's not. Which he is, sir, which he is, because he doesn't have any credentials proving that he's actually this person at the end of the day. That's also too called identity theft. So that's a federal crime. So, Mr. Williams, so you know this at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that we know about you. A lot of stuff we know. I know about your activities. I know about things that you were doing that you shouldn't have been doing. When we get to court, these things will come up. You will know everything that we know about you. I know you've been busy. I know all the phone calls and people you've been contacting. We know everything about it. And you're looking at roughly fraud against my business, identity theft, a couple years in jail, including that massive $250,000 lawsuit we're going to slam you with. And your building, at the end of the day, if they don't basically give up your information, which they will. We know you're over there in that apartment somewhere. We know you're over there. They're going to find you for us. That's what they're going to do when those packets get there. Because they're going to deliver that package straight to you. And they're going to get a package to themselves. All of them are going to get them. So we like to send out letters to people, right? My letters are a little bit different. My letters basically carry the weight of the law behind them. They're different. My letters won't get me in trouble. They'll get you in trouble for what you've done. My letters will bring you to a courtroom, get you prosecuted, get you sued, get you thrown in jail. And I've already got people in your building already on my Facebook page that are real nice, very nice people at the end of the day. Matter of fact, I plan to make a trip down there pretty soon, but you won't be there. You'll be locked up. I'm going to donate a couple of screens over there to the community over there. There's some big screens out there for them to donate some projectors and stuff, so that we can have a little movie night out there and stuff like that. It'd be pretty cool for them. So I got no problem with that. I talked to one of the building assistant managers about basically our company donating some screens. I might have to contact them again probably tomorrow and talk about how we can get some screens out there to them so we can set up something for the summertime for the kids. And they know all about you slandering my company and doing fake demonstrations out of your apartment. We've recorded and documented everything. So I can see his page is no longer there. And the reason why the page is not there, because he was guilty for what he did. And he knew at the end of the day that if Section 8 or the Housing Authority found out about it, he would be removed out of the building. Okay, we ruffled feathers, did we not? We did ruffle feathers. We had time to basically bring up the fake Derek Williams of his fake black screen paint products. My goodness, man, what a scams you run at the end of the day. You rip people off from the church. You know, you do that kind of stuff, and you rip people off from the church. You rip off the elderly, too, the old people. People at the end of the day, sometimes they don't know better that they're getting scammed at the end of the day. They really think they're helping somebody else, and that's the kind of people you rip off. And I'm going to tell you something in the day. People who do that kind of stuff in the prison system don't last long. 3 things they don't like in the prison system: messing with kids, messing with animals, and messing with old people. They don't like that at all, period. Everybody's got a grandmother, everybody's got a grandfather at the end of the day, and the last thing you want at the end of the day is for somebody to swindle them out of money so someone can make a profit off of them being a fake preacher or minister. That's the reason why you got people today that don't want anything to do with the church, because they feel that all preachers and all scam artists at the end of the day. You make the people at the end of the day that try to do something positive, that try to be good men of God, you make them look bad, ripping them off. Now we got them on blast on YouTube. We got them on blast, clearly showing you where we actually hit its links that went directly to the page. Oh, by the way, just so you know, you don't think at the end of the day that we duplicated and made the page. I actually have videos of me showing going and clicking on that link directly to the exact same page that we have pictures of. So we got all that. We also too have clicks on, we clicked on the PayPal. Does he still have a YouTube channel still floating around somewhere? Let me see if there's a YouTube channel. We can dig that up too. Ugh. He's still floating on his YouTube channel. There he is, right there. Found him. Right up top. Now, you know, people at the end of the day, I don't like to say things out of my mouth that are not true, right? So let's go over here. Let's see. And he's still calling himself a minister. There he is right there. At the top, there's his face. Calling himself a minister. Brethren Derek. Oh, we got to put this one on blast. We got to keep this one separate. I'm going to keep this one separate. I don't want to do too much into this. We're going to keep it at gray screens. We'll be back, and we're going to talk about fake preachers at the end of the day. Fake preachers. Yeah, you got to watch out for this one. This one is really dirty. And I'm going to send this video to you. Of course, it's going to be on Google. It's going to be everywhere at the end of the day. So it's good that people get a chance to chime in and watch this. I got a couple of minister sites that I go to. I'm going to send his video over there. We're going to do a little report. I'm going to make sure a little video I got to send out to some people at the end of the day so you can see the kind of nonsense he's doing and how these people have earned the right to wear that cloth. They earned the right to preach in the church, and how this guy's coming along collecting money off and doing the stuff that at the end of the day is making them look bad. So I'm going to send you out to some people in the church. And these people in the church got some power. They do. They got some power and they got reach. They're going to contact the proper authorities to get you under investigation. So let's do that video after this one. We'll be right back.